Warning. Some concepts, imagery, and language used in this Kult Divinity Lost campaign may be considered deeply offensive to some viewers. Maybe even a lot of viewers. If you are one such viewer, we're sorry. We love you, but you may want to f*** off for this one. Your discretion is advised.
We are in fact live.
Yes, we did it. We fixed the overlay just in the nick of time. Turn off the hardware acceleration in your browser content for those of you who use Streamlabs OBS. Believe that one guy who made that one post on that one site, because he was right. It helped us out. So we are here with Mike Estes. Mike, what's up, man?
What up?
What are you
Not
up
a
to?
whole lot, man. Same old. Getting ready to record a couple of voiceover demos in March. So preparing that stuff up, getting the audio equipment set up so I can start doing some real big things.
That's some exciting shit. Any spoilers? Like what kind of demo type stuff are you working on? Is it is it porn? Is it audio porn? Please tell me it's audio porn.
Oh yes, actually I've got an audio porn job on Thursday.
Sweet.
They wanted to be real authentic, so they gave me this. Anyway, you'll see. Spoilers.
They give you a big thing of casserole and a spoon. You just have to stir it. Exactly.
So the first demo is a commercial demo, so it's just pretty run of the mill Campbell's soup Ram trucks kind of ads. The second one though is a character demo reel, which I'm pretty excited about. So you guys will see a different range of characters that I'll be doing.
That's badass. So will we be able to advertise that and pass that around and share it, or is that like top secret shit? What?
No, absolutely, man. It's basically my resume. So tell your friends, family, loved ones. Tell grandma that I can help record her voicemail, whatever it is you guys need.
Oh, that'd be badass. Yeah. Very cool, man. I'm excited for you. We can say we knew you win. We can say we knew you win.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Also,
I'm the voice of Ram trucks. There you go.
Yeah, and I think you might have agreed. I'm gonna back you into a corner here, but I think you might have agreed to do the voiceover for the intro for the Crazy Western campaign, right?
Oh, I sure did.
Yeah, so that's going to be badass. Yeah, it's going to be a Savage Worlds thing here on Myth Brigade, probably sometime in the later summer, I think.
Yeah, no problem.
Very cool. Exciting. Steve, what's going on? What are you doing? I think Steve's frozen.
Oh no, Steve!
Or Steve's dead.
Oh no, Steve again!
Steve? It'd be funny as hell if you were just sitting that still. Steve!
That would be funny.
Hey, Steve. He's still in the Zoom?
Shit.
Well, let me
no.
Yeah, he's there. He's technically there. We lost him.
And he's gone.
And the overlay went crazy. Okay, we'll wait for Steve to come back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for the scrambly shit here.
It's just the top of my head and the bottom of my head. No big deal.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm gonna let this one ride though. It's what happens with technology.
Yeah.
So let's talk some more about this voice acting thing, man. So you
yeah.
I'm at least gonna move your head up just a tiny bit. So
so I don't look ridiculous?
Just interview the top of your head.
Oh, it's just it. It's just the top of my head.
Oh, there it is. That's closer. So yeah, when Steve comes back, it'll get all messed up again, but we'll fix it. So tell me about like what was the process like for getting all booted up with the voice acting thing?
Yeah. So the whole thing started with this trip that I made to Disney World, and we watched this show of like these crazy elves and stealing Santa Claus and trying to find him, and the acting itself was horrible. And I remember thinking very specifically to myself, like, I could do better than that. And so, I did the late night Google thing where I'm searching through and looking to see like what the hell, what the hell do I have to do to get started, right? And one of the suggestions was to hire a vocal coach, and that's exactly what I did. So I hired a vocal coach. The guys over at Universal Voiceover,
Oh, wow.
They're fantastic. Terry Daniel and his crew. There's probably 6 different coaches that I work with across the gambit. Everything from actual like script delivery to how to market yourself and where to find jobs, and how to edit software, things like, or how to edit your audio in your software, things like that.
You never know what you do for a living, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So like your work
cool.
product, do you have when you do a voiceover project, do you have to provide the finished sort of compressed audio, or do you provide just the raw stuff and with basic edits? Like, how does that work?
It really depends on the job. So if you're working for an agent, generally speaking, you go into their shop, you talk into their microphone, you leave with a check. Straightforward stuff. That's like the dream. They take their 10%, but that's all you got to do. If you're doing your own stuff, it could be anything from full-on edits. So you'll edit out all your mistakes, but then you'll also do levels and actually polishing your audio and then giving it to them as a polished version. Or sometimes they don't even want that. They just say, give us the whole reel. We'll take the takes that we like. We'll go ahead and edit it for you. And then they've got, audio engineers that'll handle that stuff. So it just depends on the job.
Yeah. So you're thinking about doing some Audible stuff or what? Like what?
I've thought about it. The problem with Audible stuff is like, if it's a 10-hour audiobook, you've got to read it once so you know how it ends and know how to deliver it, and then you got to read it again out loud, and then you've got to edit it. So it could take 2 weeks to do a single audiobook, but once it's up there, you make royalties through Audible. So you just start getting checks in slowly.
There we go.
So it's an option for sure.
I think he's back. Awesome.
Steve, is you back?
This is something I've been meaning to pick your brain about anyway. So quite honestly, I'm super glad for your internet outage, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, you're just talking about Mike's voice acting thing, and really, really excited about that shit. Can't wait to hear you as a cartoon character.
Yeah, that's exactly. Or video games, man. That's where I really want to be. So
there you go.
We'll see.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So welcome back, Mr. Nedley. How are you doing? Is your internet stable, or is that light behind you indicating the status? Are you in like a red alert, like a going on?
Oh God, it's not blinking, is it?
How's your internet? You all right?
Seems to be doing all right. I don't know what I did, but I moved a lot of computer stuff around earlier, so who knows?
Nice. Well, we're glad you're here. What's been going on with you, man? I saw that fantastic cover-up that you did on Trevor. So those of you who don't know, Steve Nedley is an incredible artist. He does all sorts of things, from chalk walls and t-shirt designs and album covers to tattoos. And in fact, he does the actual tattoo part as well. That's a big fucking tattoo on Trevor, man.
Yeah. One of those things when you like agree to do like a little cover-up for a friend, and it ends up being like 5 sessions, like 17 hours.
Yeah, don't we all, right? Am I right?
Who knew?
Did he warn you? Did you see the size of that fucking thing before you got after it, or what? Or did you go in like, oh God? Like,
I was thinking, I wasn't thinking.
So you got the carpal tunnel now. You carved a hole in the side of Trevor, but that's really awesome. It's like this sort of Cthulhu-esque kind of tentacle creature. It's one of your pencil drawings too, isn't it? From your website, I think. Freeze again. Damn it.
Oh man, I was really hoping he was staring at us like that.
That's so good. So good.
Just screen cap that.
I'm gonna hang up.
Oh, Steve.
Oh God. Hey, internet. We're just having fun here on Myth Brigade tonight. So
yeah.
Killer snip. Catch it. There it is. Got it.
Amazing.
The thing is, with the snip, you can't really tell that he's not moving. So,
well, you could tell him it's a video.
Yeah. He went away. He came back. He'll be back, we think. We hope.
His internet's fine. He's still on Twitch. Unless he's using his... Are you using your phone, Steve, on Twitch?
At least this is not my fault. Normally it's my fault, viewers. It is always, it's always my fault. Wait, there comes Steve again. Hey, Steve. Oh, a different angle, too. Oh, wait.
Is it?
It was.
No, you just had your head turned.
Yeah, you just had your head turned.
Camera 2.
That'd be good. Could you please get a multi-camera? Maybe have a cameraman like following, your movements around.
Yeah, I need a better internet connection if I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
It's shitty. The computer that I'm using to monitor the Twitch chat stays connected, so that's fantastic.
That is super neat.
Yeah, you might be contending for some bandwidth there if you're having internet problems. So,
let me disconnect this one.
So we were talking about tattoo stuff, which is pretty super cool. I would absolutely like for you to carve on me once we're finished with this campaign. I would like for you to.
It might be better to get it out before he sees what you do to his character.
Yeah, that's true.
That's valid.
Yeah.
That's valid.
All right.
You're just gonna have Rip Randall across your arm.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Like in Old English font or something good like that.
Who the hell's Randall?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like just enough to go across the knuckles. Randall and like a question mark.
Yes, that would be an awesome kind of work thing. All right, so I think we're all here. We're gonna try to be all here. Do you think we're here, Steve? I think we're here.
I feel here.
I haven't dropped. Like I haven't dropped a frame in a minute. So cool. Before we get really kind of launched, let's talk real quick about. So we got some Myth Brigade merch. We got T-shirts, stickers. We got some pint glasses that are etched, which is really cool, and some magnets. Some of those start to arrive Wednesday. So if you guys are interested, reach out to us at Myth Brigade. You can send an email to gm@mythbrigade.com. Also, we're going to be using these as giveaways. So those of you guys who are really participating in the chat or in the comments on the YouTube channel, you stand to win some fantastic stuff and also some miscellaneous RPGs. For example, I'm giving away a mint condition copy of Dungeon World. No offense to Adam Coble. No offense. It was pretty good, but I got enough fantasy games going on. So anyway, speak up and participate. We'll give you some shit. It's like a bribe. Also, shout out to all you guys following us on YouTube. So we have hit 350, that massive look at that, 300 and actual 50 people that are following us. Give or take. Impressive. Yeah, give or take someone that we probably pissed off on the way. But yeah, so please subscribe as well. We'd like to tick that number up so we can start to kind of monetize our efforts. It'd be nice to be kabillionaires, so that way all Steve, he could get his internet connection fixed, to get the multi-camera set up, get the gimbal, the sort of the thing that comes in, and whatever that's called.
Yeah.
It's one of those drones that like circles around your head.
Yeah. So Steve mentioned before, it's been a while, so we had to move our sessions. So I want to get a quick sanity check between Frank and Randall. So Frank, kind of taking a breath and thinking about where we've been, like what's going on in Frank's mind. Remind you that you had just left a bar, right? And you were kind of trying to make your way over toward this place called Pierson Chemicals. Your friend Randall was just absolutely in need of a fix, and he got it. Where's your head at? What's going on in your noggin?
I don't approve of what Randall had to do, but I get it. We've all got our own demons. Lord knows I do. I need to get to Pierson Chemicals and figure out how does this whole thing tie together. I keep seeing that sign on the side of the van as they threw A-bomb out in that bag. It's got to be tied together somehow, and I need to get there and figure out how.
Yeah, and that symbol, that was the important factor, right? As it ties it all together. That symbol on the back of that guy's neck. There's something going on there.
Yep, yeah. The brand there, yeah.
Randall,
I don't know how that all plays together.
Randall, what about you? So you're feeling better, obviously, right? You got your fix last time around. So what kind of state of mind do we find you in?
I'm a little elated that it actually worked out. Honestly, I feel kind of ashamed at having to go do this and actually being reliant on this shit, knowing we got better stuff to do. But it is what it is, man. We'll figure out this shit for A-bomb, and I'll get back on the straight and narrow at some point, I'm sure. Whatever you need.
Yeah. So, you want to start? I want to see how fucked up it can get.
Let's get fucked up.
Hi, I'm Randall.
Blood. The sticky, sweet smell of iron. Crimson pools drying into an unmistakable shade of brown. Brown on cracked concrete. Something about the smell of it triggers such a visceral, fearful reaction in those things that bleed, and such an unrelenting hunger in those things that don't. The camera focuses from a complete blur of an inky black into the shadowed bulk of an all but forgotten warehouse. That scent is strong here, as is the delicious residue of violence. They were here. Of that, the hunter is certain. It can taste the fear lurking beneath the surface of their malady, of their insanity. Heavy, inhuman footfalls press into the concrete as animal senses scour the area. One of them spat his nervously chewed fingernails here. One piece of simian filth shat here. It wouldn't be much longer. For now, the hunter will wait till the membrane of the lie once again grows thin. We find you at Belmont Station, standing outside the door, cars passing, dropping people off to catch their train, probably cabs. The two of you, you've walked a long way, and now you've come really to the only hope of getting to that part of Chicago within the next few days. The priest, Constantine Bianchi, is not with you. And I would ask, I'm not going to ask Randall first anyway. I'm gonna ask you guys to throw out some ideas as to where the priest might have gone. And we're gonna use that to tie into a solo adventure for him. So, Frank, an idea or two. Well,
the one thing I know about that crazy fucking preacher is that he feels the need to spread his filth to anyone and everyone, and he pushes that bullshit on everybody like a fucking door-to-door salesman. And so I thought I actually saw him dip around that building to go talk to those young children. This is a nice part of fucking town. I don't understand why he's got to go over there and bother those kids. It seemed like he had something to share with them. He looked real eager to do it.
Randall, I'm not going to role play that. Randall, what's your idea there? He froze again? No, he's back. Randall, what was your idea?
Oh, I actually was going to tack on to what Frank said. Figured that he was going to go talk to each other.
Yeah.
About what he can do to them. Sexual.
Well, let's assume that that's the joke that's been going on since he wandered off as you were walking alongside of the highway. He was having a bit of a manic episode, it seemed. He started sort of rambling things that didn't make sense, more so than usual. And try as you might to stop him, he begged you basically to press on, that he would be back. He knew where to find you. Pierson Chemicals, right? He said as he walked away. And again, the sort of camera has you center frame from behind. You're staring up at the sign proclaiming this place to be Belmont Station. It's known to be one of the more violent stations, particularly once it gets dark. What do you guys do? It's not really going to be easy for you to get on a subway for sure.
This is still early morning, right? We're been
it's
walking
closer
how
to
long,
noon.
I guess?
It's closer to noon
Closer
by
to noon.
now. Yeah.
Okay. And the easiest way to get to Pierson Chemicals is by taking the train?
Yes. You're going to take the train to basically the last stop on the outskirts of Chicago, and from there, it's a walk or a hitchhike, about another 3 to 5 miles. where this place apparently occupies a decent amount of land.
I don't have any money. Randall, I can't imagine you have any money.
You never hopped the turnstile, man?
So Randall, tell me, did you used to hop turnstiles a lot? Is that something that Randall does all the time to get around? Has he gotten good at it?
Yeah, of course. This is what you're supposed to do. That's why they have it so fucking expensive to begin with. It's so to make up for fuckers like me who can't afford to do it. Social welfare.
Nice. So,
come on, Frank.
You go walking in with purpose. You just kind of walk right in the front door of the train station there.
Yeah, no one to stop you. Just walk.
Nice.
I mean, I'm feeling great. Why not?
That's true.
Bet you are.
You are on top of the world. So as you
I'm walking
on sunshine.
On like taint powder and magic dust. Let's do this.
You make your way into the train station, and of course, there's flyers for all sorts of bands hanging on the walls. There's a ticket booth there where you can step up and get your tickets, and you just sort of walk right past.
Are you asking or telling?
I'm asking.
I'm a little more hesitant. We only get one shot at this, and if we get thrown out, we're thrown out. And so I'm looking for guards or anything, anybody that maybe I should avoid and turn my head away from, so they don't notice me or recognize me. I really don't feel comfortable being in this well-populated of an area to begin with. Looking like a hobo doesn't help.
Give me an observe the situation, if you would. So, under perception there. Nice. So I will allow you, let me see how many questions you get. I think you get like 3 with that one. So again, for those of you who don't know the system, you compare your roll essentially to a table for each move. And in this case, he's using the observe a situation move. And so kind of 9 and below, you have a bit of a failure going on. 10 to 14, you actually get to ask one question about what you're trying to observe. So Frank, what are you looking to sort out as you kind of walk in and you're glancing around? Is it about guards or what?
Muted. That's one thing I like about Zoom. It's like, hey, you're not talking. So being former police, I'm very aware of what security may look like in a place like this. And so my first thought is, hold on, Randall. Let's see if there's a way that we can get through here. And so I'm scouting the area, looking for what I perceive to be the path through to the train with the least, to draw the least amount of attention.
Okay. So you kind of lean up against the wall there, right? And you notice there are 6 turnstiles at this particular station, and there's folks coming and going. Around noon, it's somewhat busy. There's a door on this side of the turnstiles, and on the other one as well. You're not really sure what purpose either one serves. Very likely access to the ticket window, and maybe both of them at some level lead there. There is one guard on the furthest turnstile away from you. This person is there apparently helping people who have trouble getting through the turnstiles. What do you do? Folks coming, going. You'll also get +1 if you act on your observation in a particular. To remind me of that.
Yep. Well, I certainly want to take advantage of the situation. Yeah, it's almost comical how light the security at places like these are. He's nothing but a glorified rent-a-cop. So I'm going to bide my time. We've got a few minutes before the train comes. I'm going to watch for an opportunity. Someone older, someone with 3 screaming kids, somebody to draw his attention and ask him a question and try to slip through the furthest turnstile away from him, the closest one to me.
Okay. You wait, looking for this, criterion. And at one point, the guard actually makes her way over to you, the two of you, having watched you for about, 5 minutes or so. Not intently, but just noticing that you're there. She kind of walks up, not terribly confrontational. She's got a sort of checkered band around her hat proclaiming her to be one of the transportation authority folks. He kind of walks up and chewing gum. Y'all know you ain't supposed to be down here, right? She says.
Yeah, I know.
Something wrong with you? You high? She says.
I wish, man. Is there a bathroom anywhere around here?
There's a bathroom right there. Can't you read? She nods over to the sign.
Sometimes. Hold on.
Give me an influence other role, or influence other role, please, Randall. He did. Damn it! This is gonna be good. This is gonna be an editing job. It'll be like Max Headroom.
The many faces of Steve.
While we're waiting on him to sort that, I think he's probably going to the. You know what he's doing is he makes his way over to the restroom, kind of drawing her attention away, and she sort of goes back. When he's finished, y'all should leave. She says to you. You meanwhile are watching, and you do in fact see. Hey Steve, you're back. It's fine. You're going pee. You went to the restroom.
Yeah, I thought you were just asking her to like distract her. You actually had to pee.
No, I didn't. The rest of my sentence, I don't know what you guys were talking about, but I would like to spit it out before I actually lose my connection again.
What are you doing?
So I can roll whatever the hell I got to do.
Yeah.
I keep a small lighter in my pocket, and I light a fire in a trash can.
Okay. All right.
She has to pay attention now. That's gonna take a minute.
Okay. So you're going to yeah. What are you going to do after that? So give me a feeling of how that's going to play out. So you look to find, the trash can has obviously got a ton of paper towels in there.
Oh, yeah.
There's some toilet paper that somebody probably found stuck to their shoe. God only knows what's in there.
There's a lot of flammable shit everywhere.
There's a pair of underwear in there. Oh.
I'm going to grab a paper towel off the counter. I'm going to light it with my lighter and just drop it in there. Shake it around for a sec. Get it nice and burny. And I'm going to walk out.
Give me an act under pressure. Give me an act under pressure roll, please.
Let me figure that out.
This is triggered whenever you do something risky under time pressure or you're trying to kind of avoid danger. So you're going to do this. It's a little time sensitive and you're trying not to get caught as well. See if this works out for you.
You're also high.
Yeah, you're so high.
I am fully capable of lighting a fire, Frank.
Okay, then.
Not a good one, but it's a fire.
All right.
Yeah, please go on about how you're really good at lighting fires.
So he goes into the bathroom as if he's going to pee, right? You're sort of watching. So as this is happening, Frank, there in fact is a couple. And they're arguing, right? As they're walking down, the woman is carrying a baby and a baby bag and a shopping bag. And the guy's just walking along in front of her like, come on, or whatever. And he kind of turns around and he says, oh, what? Am I wrong about that too? Huh? Is that what it is? And the kid starts crying. Oh, great. Now he's just going to cry the whole fucking way. What do you do? This is your moment. This is the couple you were hoping to find.
I wait for her to make eye contact with this team, with this family, and just the moment that her focus is averted and looking at this family, I very deftly attempt to kick my legs over the top of the turnstile, duck my head, flip up the coat, and make my way towards the train station.
Got it. So give me an act under pressure for that, please. He's tired and he's hungry, she says. Ooh, wow, nice. So the act under pressure for 14. So the result there is you're going to do it, but you're going to hesitate, or you're a little bit delayed. So you've got a little bit of a complication, right? So you notice as you're starting to throw your leg over that
That's your distraction coming.
Yeah. You notice as you're throwing your leg over, Frank, that the guard's attention has turned away from the family toward the restroom. She seems to think something's not right. You can see it on her face, and she's starting to actually disengage completely from that whole domestic thing, and she's headed toward the bathroom. So you can get away with it. What do you do?
Well, Frank.
You're on mute.
I know. I'm fucking... God damn it.
What do you do?
Look at Frank. I got you.
5, 4.
I look for a woman nearby holding a purse. I grab her purse, and with both hands, I throw it over the turnstile back to the other side in hopes that she screams.
The closest woman to you is the woman with the baby. She has a baby bag. You're not sure about her
She's on
purse.
the opposite side of the turnstile, right?
You're kind of straddled the turnstile. She's pretty much right there with you. You could reach it. Or you could hop over the turnstile and grab some other random passersby. There's a woman who's walking along with her business suit on, kind of a pantsuit thing going on.
Big in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Like Marky Post hair. Yeah. What do you... Which one?
Never mind. I withdraw.
You withdraw.
I kick over, and Randall's on his own.
You kick over and you step across. The guard does not notice you, and the chaos of the man and woman kind of arguing actually stops anybody else from really saying much of anything. Randall, are you frozen? Okay, good. You're moving. Actually, you know what? If you keep that light blinking, I can tell that you're actually live. So you literally put the flaming paper towel in the wastebasket. This is kind of very large. It's one of those metal ones mounted on the wall, which happens to, the paper towel dispenser is right above it. So the flames will go right up in there. It'll be brilliant, you think to yourself. You go to step out of the restroom, and the guard is standing there with her hand on her hips, looking particularly upset with you for some reason. She looks you up and down. What do you do?
You can't go in there. This is a men's restroom.
Give me an influence other, please.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah.
You're lucky I'm so charismatic. Hey, baby.
Not too bad. So as you step up, she says, it may be a man's restroom, but it's for actual members of society who contribute. If you're finished, you could go along. And she looks over your shoulder. She noticed. What do you do?
I try to run faster.
You try to just blow past her?
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to just kind of run around her? How's that going to play?
I'm going to plow over her.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Man, I have speed energy.
Smooth.
Yeah, let's engage in combat.
My pockets are full of taint drugs. I don't want to be caught by rent-a-cop.
Let's engage in combat. So you give me engage in combat roll.
Combat?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm treating brawling as combat here.
Right, let's do it. I'm terrible at that.
You pull out your broadsword and you...
All right. I put on my wizard hat and robe.
So normally you would inflict damage with this, right? But you're actually attempting to just kind of subdue her. So tell me, describe for me what that looks like. So you finally just decide to bowl over. What does the camera see?
I move suddenly to the left, slam my shoulder into her shoulder, and send her careening into the bathroom.
Nice. So you just kind of basically send her stumbling back where you were. And she does. She just kind of takes 3 steps forward and motherfucking she down on the tile. And by that time, you are in a flat-out run. Interestingly, you see Frank in the distance running toward the train. You're going to need to catch up in a big way. Give me an act under pressure roll as you approach the turnstiles. Nice. So you proceed to kind of leap the turnstile, going full on, shoulder the man who is standing there arguing with his wife. This is representing the complication that your role has given you. Literally shouldering the man as he argues with his wife, and you shoulder him off of the train track, or off of the platform down onto the train track. Do you keep running? Do you stop?
Can you repeat that? My door opened and I'm startled because I came back and someone's on a train track.
Yeah, so you jumped over the turnstiles, shouldered the man who's standing there arguing with his wife while she holds the baby in the bag and so on, the one that Frank Quinn was thinking about snatching her bag. He stumbles off of the platform down onto the tracks as you kind of come around the corner. You see Frank ahead of you sprinting toward the train. What do you do?
Does Frank see this?
You have no idea. You see the back of Frank.
Oh, I see his back.
Yeah, he's running toward the train.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fuck it. I'm out. Fuck that guy. He beats his kids or something. She probably has insurance money. He'll be fine. It's the 80s.
There's a whole lot of commotion going on behind you. All of you, you're kind of generally aware of this. You see the door to the train is in fact open. It has pulled up at the station. You're going to have to make an act under pressure roll. So you will have a -1. Randall and Frank, yours is at normal. So you're going to be trying to charge into the train before it takes off.
Ooh.
Shit. Oh, that's bad.
At least you're somewhere near the train.
Sorry, Steve.
Yeah. This game doesn't allow you to just go where you want it to go, does it? So
No.
you're running, and Frank, you feel your heart sink as you see the doors to the train close. You hear the kind of blah 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 blah, hang on to the end or whatever, and the doors close, and you hear the and you're thinking, God, I hope that guy, you don't know this, Randall, you're thinking, man, I hope that guy gets out of the track. All hope is lost of catching this train. What do you do?
Oh, that's a great question. I have ruined the situation.
Frank, you stop and kind of look around. You see Randall running up to you. He's sweating profusely as a heroin addict would when, exerting themselves. He kind of runs up on you. The two of you are there in a moment of solidarity, and you can see back toward the gates, actually, some sort of commotion involving maybe a cop who has come down the stairs from elsewhere in the station. What do you do?
Sorry, Frank.
Yeah, first off, there's a very audible fuck.
Yeah.
I know we missed this train. We got to wait for the next one. I know what's going on over there. Did she see you? Did she see you get in here?
Yeah, that's definitely the thing that I'm freaking out about.
Right,
she saw me get over here.
We've got to hide.
We definitely should fucking hide.
If she finds us, we can't make this train.
You're right, we should hide, because just about the bathroom thing.
Trying real hard not to break character right now, Steve.
It's so funny.
I'm Randall.
Randall.
Yeah. So Why don't you give me, speaking of breaking character, why don't you give me a keep it together roll there, Frank? Let's see how cool you remain in this situation.
About to lose my shit.
That'd be pretty cool for someone who doesn't know we just killed a man.
It's the third 14 of the night. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. So you hold it together in general. You'll have time to deal with this later, but you got to act, and you got to act now. So what's the plan?
I need to find somewhere to hide. I need this woman to believe that I was on that train that just left, so she'll stop looking for us. So I'm immediately looking for somewhere that I can dip quickly and get out of sight. If Randall can fit, that's a plus.
So you notice,
I can fit.
you notice down the sort of the waiting area kind of curves just a slight bit. It's covered in tile, and it's got the name of the station Belmont there, and kind of other sort of, kind of like a big metal sign. And there is in fact an alcove. Maybe it's another exit. You're not really sure. It's kind of, there's multiple ways out, but you're going to have to sprint, and you're going to have to sprint quickly.
Okay.
Give me that.
I'm malnourished. I'm pretty hungry. All right. Which one do I do?
You can do the act under pressure.
You got it. I got a -2 to act under pressure. You keep making me roll these.
Yeah.
Well, I get bad modifier, so me too.
You as well? You rolling, Randall?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I am. Hold on. Should act under pressure.
Yep.
Bam.
So
9, just like Constantine likes it. Let's do this.
So let's take on Frank first. So Frank, first of all, you charge around the corner just headlong. You're kind of running, and as you do, you sort of start to skate out toward the edge of the platform. You recognize as you're running along, there's a maintenance worker there, and he's kind of got his heads down. He's got a toolbox in his hand. You're going to fall based on your roll. You could shove off of him, and you will make it into that alcove. Or maybe you fall. You choose.
For me, the important thing is not avoiding skinned palms, but it's avoiding the woman that's coming to check if I'm still at the end. And running into this guy is going to make too much of a commotion. So I go ahead and tuck and try to fall and okay.
So you do. Yeah. So you basically kind of turn sideways and narrowly avoid slamming into him. And he notices you, but he doesn't seem to really put 2 and 2 together. And you go right off the edge of the platform and literally narrowly avoid touching the track as you kind of hit the ground. You're like, oh, it's dirty down here. There's all kinds of trash. There's like a used condom that you nearly land on. It's just that kind of filth down here in the track. Randall, you see your friend just kind of go careening over the side. Of course, this guy kind of there looking strangely. He sort of looks at you. What's going on? He kind of turns and looks down. Hey, buddy, are you all right? His back is now to you, Randall. Frank's choice actually got you out of a world of hurt as well. What do you do?
So, just so I understand the setting, Frank is no longer on the same plane as me.
Correct. He has fallen down into the track. You're standing on a subway platform. There is an alcove ahead of you, like a maintenance doorway. The maintenance guy probably came from there and was going back toward the gate. And there's all kinds of shit going on toward the gate, as apparently cops and the security people try to help the dude out so he doesn't get actually run over.
Huh. Well, I know Frank is a powerful guy, and I think that me and the custodial guy can try to find a way to get Frank out of the hole.
Give me an observe the situation as well while you're there.
Because I am charismatic.
I just want to see if you notice something.
Said observe the situation.
Huh? Wow, nice.
I see the future.
Yeah, you do. So this guy's got a big key ring. That's one thing that you get is sort of a clear indication, a key ring. That's important, right? The maintenance guy, the key ring. He's also got a toolbox, but he doesn't have like a 50 feet of hemp rope or anything like a good adventurer would have. But with that, you do get to actually ask some questions. So with the roll, would you roll a 16? So you get to ask 2 questions about what the situation.
I would like to know how likely this guy is to be compassionate to the situation, and how likely this guy is to narc on me. Well, actually, I guess that's the same question, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Sort of
I think it is. So I'll answer the first one while you think of the second one. So the first one, you think he's confused. He just some random sort of dirty man just ran past him and clearly stumbled and has landed with a thud into the rocky filth of the train track. And he's obviously concerned. In fact, it looks like he's about to drop his toolbox. What's your second question?
My second question is, are those the keys to the entire station?
You can't tell for sure, but they do look institutional. There's a lot of them there. There are numerous keys there, yeah. You
How
probably
they fastened to his belt?
they seem to
Can I
be
see
on
that?
one of those stretchy sort of wheelie things. Like he's got them affixed so that he can stretch them out and use them to get in and out of places.
I'm going to frantically try to convince him that we need to get my buddy out of the hole. Did you see him fall in there? That's dangerous. We need to do this right now. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
He turns and looks at you. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Oh, you know what? I got a broom handle in there. We can grab it and just hold it down. He can grab on that. Hey, buddy, can you jump? Can you jump? Maybe we can pull him.
Yeah, Frank,
Yeah.
how are you, brother? Come on to the side.
Yeah, I'm unless the the GM says otherwise, I'm a little battered. That fucking hurt. Yeah, let me catch my breath real quick. I'll be all right. You got something I can maybe grab onto to get out of here?
Thankfully,
he's running over to the other thing. He's going to go help you out, and he's going to put his little box down and his key ring down. He's going to go get you the broomstick rope. Right? Come on.
give me an influence other. Let's see if you convince him. He seemed to be about to reach down, but give me an influence other and see if he buys that path. Wow. Nice. So he does what you ask. So he kind of turns. He's like, yeah, I'll go get something real quick. You just stay right there. We got time. He runs over, and with only muscle memory, right? He uses just the right key, opens the maintenance door, steps in. Just a couple seconds later, it comes out with a ladder, just from right around the corner, probably hanging up on a wall mount or something. Kind of aluminum ladder. He comes away and he goes, "Here, buddy. Here, come on." He puts it down with a thunk into the rocks and gives you a means to climb out. He holds his hand down. Randall, what are you doing all this time?
Oh no. I am pacing.
Okay.
Because what I want to do, which is to grab the keys and I want to kick him into the hole the second that Frank breaches it. He's fine. He'll be fine. I did it, not Frank.
Okay.
But I think that's what I want to do.
I got it.
Grab the keys, kick the helping old timer in there, and take the ladder and run.
I've got it. So you're going to act under pressure to get the keys, so go ahead and get that roll going for me. Meanwhile, Frank, what do you do? So the ladder goes thunk into the rocks, and it gives you, it's tall enough that you need some help climbing out of here, so the ladder's helpful. And your knee is fucked, man. It's not broken, but man, it's just hard hit. It hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still shaking the dust out of my ears and knocking the rocks out, so I'm happy to be out of here. I gladly start to climb the ladder.
Yeah. So you climb out, kind of moving up to the top, and basically you and the maintenance guy kind of pull the ladder out because obviously you don't want a train to hit that sucker. Right about then, did you roll a 10?
Yeah.
Sadly, you reach down and grab the keys and pull them, but you don't snatch them quite as hard as you had hoped, right? So you kind of, and his belt basically pulls away from his waist, and it kind of pulls him closer. He turns and looks at you and he goes, "What the fuck?" What do? He's got this grimace of just like disgust on his face as you're pulling him.
You said he's a really old guy?
Older, not ancient. He's probably 50, maybe. What do you do?
I'm gonna hand the keys to Frank.
Okay. So you basically, you pull him close to you, and you pull him off, and then you kind of hold out the keys, and this guy's looking at you, and he goes, "What? Hey, buddy, what?" He reaches out for your wrist. You still gonna push him in the hole?
No, I'm gonna hand the keys to Frank.
Okay.
Frank solves this.
So you hand the keys out. So Frank, you see him kind of, the guy's got him by the wrist, and he's kind of, they're basically kind of struggling with this bundle of keys. What do you do?
So we made it around the corner.
No,
right?
no, you were literally you've gone just around the gentle curve. Yes, so you're not immediately visible to the situation, but not far from it.
Right. I give Steve a knowing look.
Randall.
Sorry, give Randall a knowing look.
Also Steve.
And Steve. Yeah.
And I clock this guy as hard as I can.
All right. Give me give me an engage in combat roll, please. This is something that you're pretty good at as well, I believe.
You're gonna kill it, dude.
Holy shit! Okay.
Giblets everywhere.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So tell me what this looks like, and you can imagine the gravity, given that 15 is you're sort of like on the upper side of 15. What does it look like?
So I'm coming out of the ladder. At this point, I don't even know where the hell Randall is. I just know I just ate a whole bunch of rocks. My knee is fucking killing me. And some very helpful man thought better to help me than to just let me fucking get crushed. So I climb up to the top of the ladder. I see Randall reaching for this man's belt, and it takes me a second to realize what he's doing, but I get it. He's trying to grab the keys. Good play, bad execution. And the guy grabs Randall's hand, and I notice for a brief moment he's not paying attention to me anymore at all. He's focusing on Randall. Randall's about to be in a bad situation. So half out of reflex, half out of instinct, I sock this guy as hard as I can, hoping to knock him unconscious to avoid another big scene. And so just a jab, not even full force, but I hit him in just the right spot, side of his jaw, and he drops straight down. No. Not down there. No. Just where he's standing. I don't want to kill him.
That's the director's cut. Okay, so instead you hit him in the jaw, and you hear his dentures hit the back, and just knock his teeth backwards into his throat. He falls down with a thud and is coughing and holding his throat and his face. He's wrecked. What do you do in this couple of seconds? You're kind of looking around. What do you do?
I motion to Randall, help me get him out of here. Help me. And so I start to drag him back further away around the corner.
Let's just bring him to the janitorial room.
Give me that act under pressure, guys. Let you pick who you want to make that roll.
I'm dragging because I'm half dragging because I have a bad knee, and so I've got this guy sort of one-handed, pulling back in a weird limp. And I hear Randall mention, let's put him in the closet, and so I think it's appropriate that he makes the roll.
Do it,
Small closet.
Yeah. So yeah, a small closet. No, you move over. So you're kind of there. Randall, you are trying to get through the keys as quickly as you can. Right. Your hands are shaking, and sadly, just as the right key slides in, and you start to turn it, you recognize you got it. You hear, "Hey, you, stop!" There's a cop. Door opens. What do you do?
This is for the closet?
This is there's a hallway there. It's not just a closet. This is it's like a mall hallway, right? Like leads into God only knows what in the inside of the train situation.
Do I have it still on his belt?
No, you would have broken it loose. Yeah, you have the wad of keys in your hand. His belt's
Fan-fucking-tastic. Yeah. I'm going to hand the keys to Frank, gesture over my shoulder, and I'm assuming Frank goes, but he can decide what he does, and I want that dude's wallet, and I'm going to run down the hallway.
You're gonna rob the guy real quick first before the cops get there. All right.
Well, he at least has lunch money, which is ticket money, so if this goes fucking super south,
yeah,
I have cash.
Give me an act under pressure roll, please.
I got to stop making decisions.
I know. That's just the way it is. Okay, so Frank, what are you going to do? While he jump, kind of reaches down and he's grabbing. you see him fiddling with the wallet, Frank. He's just tweaking, and he's so excited, and the adrenaline is kicking. He's not thinking straight. He's not going to get this guy's wallet. The guy's laying on it. He's going to fail. What do you do?
Listen, I felt the need to take care of this guy, to fulfill some emptiness that I've got, my own fucking personal demons, but I cannot let him weigh me down. And so I mumble, "You fucking idiot." And I try to hobble my ass out of there with a busted leg as fast as I can, away from the guy who just yelled our way.
So you head into the hallway, or do you just keep going down the train corridor?
Keep going down the trainway.
So you realize as you kind of look ahead, just as you start to turn, that it ends. The platform ends. You're going to have to jump down into the actual path of the track and go, into the scary place. Was an option. What do you do?
Is the door still open?
It is.
Okay, so I make one of those quick checks and then double back and head down the hallway.
Okay. So Randall, basically, he steps over you. You realize you're not going to get this guy's wallet. You can hear already. It's distant yet, but you can hear the crack, crack, crack of the cops' uniform shoes against the tile in the train station. You're going to get caught, man. There's no doubt. What do you do?
That cop doesn't have the keys to that room. He doesn't have the keys to that hallway.
You don't know, but probably not.
I'm going to haul ass into the hallway after grabbing the little toolbox thing that the dude dropped, because I'm getting something for my effort. I want stuff.
So
Frank.
You're gonna
don't look at me disappointed.
So you're
I'll act under pressure again.
So you act under pressure, and if you get it, then I'll let you make a choice. You either get a wallet or you get a toolbox. Wow, shit. Okay, so you're gonna have to deal with a complication.
What?
Yeah, it's true. That's what that roll gets you. Is 10 to 14 is you achieve it. So what are you trying to do? You trying to get the toolbox or the wallet? Which one is the most important to Randall?
Oh man, we got into this situation because of no money, so I'm taking the fucking wallet. That's a lot lighter, and I still have the keys, so I have all the tools I need in a train station.
So you grab this guy's wallet, and as you do it as well, you kind of pulling his pants around, whatever, just kind of shuffling him around, and this pill bottle rolls out of his front pocket, spills open, and these tiny little pills spill everywhere. And he's grabbing at your arm, and he's pointing at himself, and he's reaching out to you with these look of desperation in his face. I'd like you to roll real quick to keep it together. He seems to be having something going on, like from the stress and the situation. You don't know exactly what's happening here.
Can I read a person?
So you get to choose one of these. So Are you saddened by the situation? Do you feel guilty? Are you obsessed, or are you distracted?
I would say probably a little guilty.
Help me! He's fiddling around.
I'm gonna reach out and grab one of the pills and pop it in his mouth real quick.
Okay. So you reach out and you grab one of these tiny little pills, and you don't know the dosage. Honestly, maybe it's a couple. You have no idea. You don't even know what this shit is. But his hands are fluttering around the dirty tile as he looks for it. And you pick one up in your nasty fingers and put it in his mouth, and he just kind of gobbles it up. You can feel his tongue and his mouth kind of on your fingers. Yeah. The cop is right there. As you finish this act, you kind of look up. What do you do?
I'm going to say, this man needs his fucking medicine. He needs more. And I'm going to run down the fucking hallway.
Give me very quickly an influence other roll. The outcome of this roll will determine whether or not he proceeds with his original plan, which was to fuck you up with a club. Oh, okay. He's going to fuck you up with a club. All right.
He's going to die.
So no, as he comes in, it looks to him, and he's not wrong, that you're mugging this guy. You've got his wallet in your hand. You did just, and it looked maybe like you're trying to strangle him, right? Because you've got your hand over his face. He comes in with his club held high and just swings it at you. Now, you're going to roll to avoid harm. Nice.
Matrix.
So tell me how that looks. So you're there. You kind of look up and you see him, his club up high, and he's got this grimace on his face like, oh, no, you're not going to do this in my town. What happens?
I actually slip on one of those pills, and I skitter under the blow. And then I regain my footing, and I haul ass in that room. I'm assuming Frank's already made it, since he only had to take a quick left. I'll let you tell me one way or the other if he's in the hallway or not.
Yep, he is. So you stand and your foot slides on all the spilled pills, and you slip back down, and as he whiffs and does not manage to hit you, but there are more blows coming as you kind of move into the hallway. Give me an act under pressure. Let's see if you can get in there and close that door.
Secret Agent Hobo's gonna eat it.
Well, you proceed to try to get through the door, but you don't move particularly far, and you feel this kind of caw in the back of your head and this wee in your ears as he just knocks you against the wall. You stumble into the hallway, and so you are in fact in the hallway at this point and hit the ground, but you are bleeding from your ear and are going to have some complications from that.
Do I still feel guilty?
I leave that up to you. You hit the ground. The door is there. The cop is standing in the door. He's got his billy club in his hand. He's reaching for what probably is handcuffs.
Am I on the ground?
You are. Yeah, absolutely. And it surprises you that you're on the ground. In fact, he clocked you in the side of the head and just boom, put you on the ground.
I want to try to kick his foot out. Bring him down here with me.
Give me an engage in combat.
I should look at my sheet prior to making my decision.
Wow.
Oh no, fuck that guy. That's great. -2, you're dead. Like clean off.
So you the result here is basically you inflict damage to the opponent and avoid counterattack. So tell me, as you're trying to sweep his leg, you see his knees just a great target. You kick out. What is it like? Like how bad is that injury that you give his knee?
As a guy stepping in, I kick the side of the knee as hard as I can. From my vantage point, it buckles horizontally, not quite the way it's supposed to go. There's a sickening pop. And the guy, there's like a muffled whimper as he tries to maintain his cool. But as he falls, his face slams into the floor. And from what looks like over here, he's out.
Oh yeah, he's out. He's moving slowly.
Awesome.
He's not dead, But he just is writhing in pain, and his leg is crooked, and he's kind of dragging it. It's like a sort of a disjointed chicken wing kind of flapping off next to him. He's in the middle of calling for backup at this point. But you regain your footing. You have the wallet, and you can close the door.
Is he in the room with me?
Who, the cop?
Yeah.
No, the cop fell just outside of the hallway. You were fighting right at the threshold of the door.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you just kind of,
the fucking door, I'm leaving.
You just slam that door shut. Frank, what are you doing? So you're kind of round the corner. You hear this institutional door slam. This really loud door slam. You doing?
I'm looking for the next place to go. At this point, I'm pretty frustrated with Randall between whatever the fuck happened at the turnstile that brought that woman upon us, and whatever the fuck is going on back there with the keys. I'm starting to remember why I don't like High Randall, and so I got a place to go. I got to figure out how the fuck to get there, and so I'm making my way down the hall, trying to be, I wouldn't say stealthy, but trying not to draw attention to myself. I'm clearly not supposed to be in here, and I don't want anybody to hear me. I'm not running and clamping and slapping my feet on the ground or anything like that. It's more of a casual, brisk walk, trying to find a way through.
Yeah. So you make you're kind of moving and checking doors and things like that. You pass a couple of doors, and it seems mostly like they're for the machinery of the area, like the sort of light control station and sort of things, track mechanisms and things like that. Randall, you actually catch up for the most part to Frank. You're kind of call it 15 feet behind him as you're kind of moving it just a little bit faster. You're sort of panicked. How does that look? So, Frank, you look over your shoulder, and Randall's kind of running up behind you. He's sweating profusely. He's bleeding out of his ear. And he's got this wild-eyed look on his face. What do you do?
Are you asking me?
No, Frank.
Oh. Are you okay? You're fucking bleeding, man. Come here. And I pull my dirty jacket cuff up the middle of my palm, and I'm kind of holding it there, and try to hold it to his ear to try to stop the bleeding.
It's
what
split.
the fuck happened to you, man?
It's split. So as you apply pressure, the bottom half of the ear separates from the top. It's clear that the club just kind of split it right, almost all the way to the ear hole itself. He's going to need some stitches. You could get the bleeding minimized for sure, but he's going to need medical assistance soon.
God, between your hand and your ear, man, it's a wonder how you're still fucking standing.
Magic.
Yeah, I don't have anything to bandage that up. You need to get that thing bandaged up quick. Here. And I kind of pull his sleeve down a little bit, and I take his hand and fucking put it on his head like a child. Hold pressure there. Stay close behind me, and don't make a fucking sound.
Okay, but I need you to help me look through this guy's wallet real quick. I'm gonna have my hand up here.
He's got his hand and the wallet and then the stuff,
I take the wallet and stick it inside of my pocket. What are you taking this man's wallet for, man?
Because cash, bro. You don't know. We need to get on the damn train.
The train is no longer a fucking option. It's not an option anymore.
They have a lot of stops.
So you're there in this hallway. Got it could be at this point a dead man's wallet. Assaulted a cop.
Bad juju.
What do you do? Do you hang out?
No.
Moving?
No. I'm stuffing the wallet in with one hand as I'm starting to continue to walk down. Right, I'm still checking doors. I'm looking for a place. Basically, I'm looking for the other end of this place. How do I get out of here?
So you move as quickly as you can, and thinking to yourself that the cops hopefully respond to the station behind you. You wander around through the kind of maintenance corridors, and you come to what you can only guess is a similar door that would lead probably out onto the next stop. This is after about 10 minutes of really kind of booking it down these kind of tiled hallways, all these sort of girders and conduit and things like that. But yeah, you arrive at the exit, or you could continue forward. And there's also a door which seems to lead kind of deeper into the sort of underground complex here. You're not sure what that's about. If you exit, maybe you could catch a train.
So I'm sizing up Randall. How's he look?
He's bleeding. He's bleeding pretty bad, as you can imagine. Holding his hand here, he's got the cloth is starting to kind of seep through a little bit, and it's running down his wrist. But
I kind of got a feeling that I know where we should go.
I don't know that you get to make any more calls, man.
I'm really good at this one. You punch stuff, I find stuff. Come on, Frank. You got to talk in this area if you answer me, though.
Hey, dipshit. I don't think that you can get on the train like that, man. You're going to draw way too much attention to yourself.
We got to get on the train, man. There's a shortcut I know. I know a shortcut. Yeah, Wayfinder.
Yeah.
God, I don't know why the fuck I follow you, man. All right, what do you got?
So tell us what Wayfinder does, Mr. Steve.
Wayfinder is whenever you travel between two places in the city and allow your madness to guide you through the alleys, I roll plus soul.
So let's have your roll plus soul. Let's do that.
All right. Now when I roll, it's got to be 2d10 plus soul. Or what is it?
Yeah, it's 2d10. You add them together, so it's not read like a d100. And then you add your soul bonus.
I feel special, like I'm participating.
One of your advantages there, Wayfinder.
And apparently I still gotta remember to do this whole like roll plus soul.
Oh, at the beginning?
Yeah. Points for
What's your roll?
I'm trying to figure out what my plus soul is.
It's your...
Roll 20.
It's just to the right of your see through the illusion, the very bottom.
Yeah, it's
right.
3 in Randall's case.
Okay,
and you're a soulful dude.
10 plus. And that would be a GM roll, right?
Would it be? Oh, I guess it would be, because you wouldn't necessarily know, would you? Plus 3, so 16 is what I'll give you that. That's, if it was bad, I would tell you.
All right.
So literally as if guided, and Randall get guided. So her shadow is there in the tile. You look around for it. You see it there. She's almost childlike in the way she's waiting. Little girl kind of waiting for her dad at the grocery store or something like that, right? And when she realizes that you're actually paying attention, she turns and runs. Frank, he seems lost for a second, but then he takes off, and he doesn't go back out into the station, but instead he takes you on almost like this sort of maddening turns through the maintenance hallways. Now, Frank, I'll let you choose, or Randall, I'll let you choose. Do you want to wind up at a station, or are you trying to get to the street? Do you want to be on a train, or do you want to be on the street?
I want to be back on the street. I think the whole train situation's boned right now.
Okay. So,
but I want to be somewhere convenient.
So he kind of winds deeper, and you wind up in this kind of institutional stairwell, right, where the walls are kind of two-tone, and the stairs are kind of like that rubberized, moisture-resistant, kind of slip-resistant surface, but metal otherwise. You make your way up and up and up, and then very soon he literally comes out next to a ticketing booth. The lady at the ticketing booth seems confused. It's not the same station by any means. You're a couple stations away at this point. It's a good, almost a half hour worth of wandering. But yeah, you are back out on the street, stepping out, bleeding all over the place. The ticket booth woman kind of looks for a moment and sees the two of you kind of leave, and she gets up and goes back into the back of her office, probably going to see what's going on deeper in the building there. What do you do?
I very briskly get the fuck out of there. I need to get away from these people. Randall, you need to get patched up, man. That ear is bad. You're still bleeding, and you're drawing way too much attention to yourself.
With that high Wayfinder roll, I'll let that bleed over into, as you look around, Randall, there's a free clinic nearby. You got gonorrhea cleared up there once. Twice. It was a different one the second time. But yeah, they also supply you with needles as you need them. But yeah, they probably patch you up. You go get some stitches. Cool. So you kind of turn and walk into the mix of people in cities like any other city, really. Despite the fact that you're bleeding and you're clearly uncomfortable, you don't get much other than just passing glances from these people, these lost souls. You make your way to the clinic. Thankfully, it's kind of still right around 2 o'clock in the afternoon at this point, and it is in fact open. As you walk in, these drawn faces greet you. The waiting room is full of people, sick people, injured people. As you walk in, the nurse who's sitting behind one of those sort of sliding glass windows looks up and sees your circumstance and sort of scrambles up out of her seat. And it comes walking around the corner, comes out of the door, the swinging doors. Oh, okay, hun. Oh, hey, Randall, she says. You again, huh? What did you get yourself into this time, hun? Yeah, let me see this. Let me see. She pulls the packing away. You been fighting again?
No. Come on, Beth.
Bullshit. Gonna have to get you stitched up. You know the drill. She points over to a clipboard where there is paperwork that you must fill out. You sit in the waiting room. So Frank, how does this play out? Do you wait with him? Do you just kind of sit, the two of you next to each other? Mute.
First thing I do is I go to find a bathroom. As soon as I can get a place, close the stall, pull up the pant leg and check out my knee. Make sure, is there any swelling? Is it bruising?
It's bruised. Like? It's bruised. It's not a permanent injury by any means. It's just painful. Okay. It's a bad bruise. You kind of got a tender spot on the bone and some a little bit of swelling, but nothing horrific.
Okay, so I'm not super concerned about it. Pull the pant leg back down, and next I've got to get his blood off my hands. And so I go down to the sink and give myself a little makeshift shower, wash my hands, try to get under my fingernails, get the blood off, wash my face, and try to make myself presentable to the best of my ability in the event that we are in another public forum like we were. I imagine I spend a good 20 minutes or so in the shower, in the bathroom. I'm in no rush. This is the first running water I've seen in a couple of days, and it feels good to kind of get cleaned up a little bit. But after about 20 minutes or so, I'll walk back into the waiting room. Not super urgent to take a seat next to Randall, but more stand sort of on the outside and sort of people watch all the people in the room as I'm trying to sort through my thoughts.
The camera views this swirl of blood off of your hands as you wash. It seems like so much blood. More coming and coming, swirling down the drain until it finally washes clean. You make your way out. After that 20 minutes, Randall, thanks to his local relationship, has been admitted to get cleaned up. Randall, you stink. You have to disrobe, and that's always hard for someone who's not able to maintain their hygiene, right? Because clothes hold certain things in. You can smell yourself in here. A mixture of piss and shit. Filth. The track marks are evident up and down your legs, in your groin. Sad. You're bleeding. And you can see her reflection in the mirror. She's staring at you. Roll to keep it together. You feel this chill up your back as you make eye contact with her. You usually avoid that. Her eyes are black, dead, and she's very angry with you. Your hands are shaking, you can feel it, and you hear this sort of sound. You kind of glance down, and the track marks up and down by your groin are just kind of opening and closing like little sucker fish. What do? You're holding it together. Just then, the door opens and the doctor walks in. Good afternoon, Randall. It's terrible to see you here under these Are you all right? He says.
It's been a long day, Doc. I'm sorry, man. I'm not really feeling myself.
He reaches out as he kind of, is putting gloves on. He pushes your knee outward. Pulls the robe kind of in closer, right? Because obviously your view of your sort of track marks was hallucinated. What are you doing to yourself, Randall? You keep this up, injuries like this are going to be the least of your worries. As he gets it out together to clean up your ear. I thought you said you were going to get off of that stuff.
Well, yeah, but not today. Soon. I told you soon.
You told me you were going to get off of that stuff, Randall. You told me you wouldn't let it separate us. You told me, as he picks up the needle, that you wouldn't let it hurt me. And as he says me, these little bugs start to crawl out of his mouth. How do you react to that, Randall?
Well,
Give me a keep it together roll. How about that?
yeah, let's do that, because even listening, I'm not doing very well. I want to joke and talk about how they had ears half off at, Kmart or some shit, but this doesn't seem like the right time. Keep it together, you said, right?
Yeah. You're having a much more difficult time at this point, kind of tolerating this, and literally as he kind of leans in, you close your eyes, and then as you open them, he's not there. You're sitting in this room, and she's still in that fucking mirror. She's laughing. She's nodding. Turns and walks deeper into the mirror. The door opens. Frank, sometime later, Randall comes out, patched up. What's your state? What does he see as you come walking out, Randall?
So, wait, me or him?
No, Randall. So as Randall walks out, what does Frank see? Randall, as you kind of come walking out, having experienced that.
Oh, I'm describing it.
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
you describe it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, no, that's Frank. What do you see, Frank?
No, this is a shared narrative. So yeah.
Okay. He sees someone cautiously, kind of embarrassed. My high's worn off a little bit. I'm not really feeling so great. I'm not quite as messy as I was. I have a giant gauze thing stuck to the side of my head, but this time in a more hygienic way, rather than just cramming stuff to the side of my head. There's no wallet pressed to it. I have a little bit of a limp from when I busted my ass earlier. I feel a little sheepish. I kind of don't have that bravado that I had earlier from my little tolerance arc. I kind of just want to get the fuck out of there.
You walk past these faces, all of them are staring at you, you think. In the way that everyone stares at a door at the doctor's office that opens, right? You kind of come walk patched up. Probably a few people are pissed because you got in before they did, thinking something about, oh, so that's what it takes to get seen around here. Frank, what would you have done during the wait? You had a relatively or comparatively peaceful time. Would you have checked out the wallet?
No, that's not what I'm thinking about at all. The wallet was simply another one of Randall's stupid fucking impulsive mistakes. I'm thinking about the way the blood swirled around the drain. I'm thinking about how much blood I've seen. I'm thinking about how unnecessary that blood was today. Today was not about fighting our way through. We have a goal. And Randall's gone and fucked it up again. And so I'm thinking about where am I now and how do I get to Pierson Chemicals and does Randall really fit into that plan? Because I can't deal with this shit. I can't end up in another fucking clinic waiting here. And there's a few times when I'm watching the door and I know that Randall's in good hands and I'm thinking maybe I just go and let Randall sort of do his thing, but I don't know, man. I don't think he'd make it very long without me. And so I stick it out. All right, if he's back out in the next 5 minutes, I'll stay. But if he's not, I'm leaving. And that 5 minutes becomes 8 minutes, and that 8 minutes becomes 15 minutes. And before I know it, there he comes, walking out the door, a big fucking goofball with the gauze stuck to the side of his head.
Randall, you come walking out to see Frank eagerly awaiting your arrival. And it feels at least nice to walk out and see a familiar face in this sea of strangers. You rejoin each other's company and make your way back out onto the street. At this point, it's rush hour. It's been a long time. You've had time to kind of recuperate, and your heart rate's gotten down. You're off your high, of course. But you're out here. It'll be dark soon. You're on a part of town that's nicer than where you usually hang out. Clothing stores on the various corners. Neiman Marcus is on one corner. You folks that live in Chicago, don't fact check me because I don't know.
I know Marcus.
What do you guys do? So you kind of gather there outside the clinic. There are a few other homeless people out there, kind of smoking cigarettes and gossiping and whatnot while they wait for their friends or while they wait for their own appointment. Scratching at his groin.
I make a beeline to the group of guys with the cigarettes. Hey man, can I bum one of those, please?
Yeah, boss. I'll give you one. Something to give me? Hope you don't mind Marlboro Reds, he says.
Nah, man. They all smoke the same.
His pack is crumpled, and it's not a box, right? It's a pack, and it's like just tortured, and the cigarette comes out like, nee. But he hands you a cigarette.
That's fine. I use my dirty fingers to try to straighten it out to the best of my ability. And I get real close to him, putting the end of my cigarette against the cherry of his as it hangs out of his mouth. I can smell just the shit breath and the tobacco. And for a moment, I start to wonder, why the fuck am I here? How did I end up here? All the decisions I made in my life. How did I get to this moment? And I pull that sweet drag in, and I feel the smoke roll off my tongue, and I hold it in, and then I smell it as I exhale it out of my nose, and all that shit just goes away. And I get that moment of clarity. The heart rate starts to pick up a little bit, and I turn to Randall and say, okay, what's our next plan? As I take another huge drag off the cigarette.
Guy moves away with his long ash on his cigarette, kind of goes about his business, letting the two of you talk, seeming content to have helped you. What is the next step, Randall? See cabs coming and going, buses.
Let's see the wallet, Frank. Can we see what's in the wallet, please?
Yeah, all right, man. All right. So I reach in and I grab it. I don't even look at it. I couldn't tell you the color. I couldn't tell you if it was a bifold or a trifold. Pull it out and I throw it. Is that worth it? Was that worth this? What is your plan, man? What is your plan?
Catch it. Got it in your hand. You get the lecture in your face. What do you do, Randall? What do you do with this wallet?
First, I say, you got the gauze here, man. I'm sorry. You gotta speak up when you're lecturing me. And I look down at the wallet and I open it up and I find.
You find $76. Funny thing about guys like that, a lot of them live on cash. A lot of them live on that kind of crisp dollar bill. So they get paid and they take their paper check to the bank and they cash it. No credit card to speak of. He's got a YMCA membership card. He's got a library card, and he's got a bunch of pictures. And when you grab the wallet, you thought, man, this guy, like, he's got $76 is a lot of money, but still, it's all pictures of his family. Smiling. Probably a mom.
Another guilty?
I don't know, Randall. What you have is $76 and a whole his ID's in there as well. State ID.
Awesome.
Driver's license. What do you do with the you keep the money, I'm guessing. What do you do with the wallet?
Oh yeah. What I do is he says $76, right?
Yeah.
All right. I say, awesome, man. We got $40 here. And I throw the wallet on the floor and I hand Frank a 20. I'm like, this is amazing. What a good day, man. Let's just fucking take a taxi or something. My treat.
You buy it, Frank?
I don't want your fucking money, man. I don't want your money. You want to pay for a cab? We could take a cab. But you're not going to buy me with this shit.
I'm going to buy your shit, man. Come on. Let's get in the tab.
You turn and using muscle memory, and this is a skill that you learned when you were in your teens, when your dad was just kind of teaching you, like, early on, 12, 13 years old. That's how you hail a cab, son. You'd done it once or twice when you were little, but a couple times along the way that you remember doing it for the first time by yourself. That meant something. The arm out, the money in the air kind of brings that back. A yellow cab pulls up in front of you, squeaks to a halt. Get out, or you get in?
Fuck yeah.
Frank?
Yeah, man. After you.
So as I pointed out to Randall before, there's the other enemy of homeless folks, or folks who can't see to their own hygiene, are enclosed spaces. You both reek. It's unfortunate. Randall may be worse than you. Maybe he's got a bit of infection going on. Cab driver leans over his shoulder. Hey, where to? You're on mute.
Almost instinctively, I blurt out Pierson Chemicals.
Yeah, I don't work there. I don't know what that means. You got an address, bud? Got the page from the phone book, if you recall. I think.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm giving you a bonus if you fucking actually remember the address. If I gave it to you.
No, you didn't give it to us. You did note that there was no yellow page entry, but there was a white page entry.
The white page entry, yeah.
Yep, and I don't know if the white page entry has an address or not, but I have the white page entry in my hand. I don't think the white pages did. They always just
I think
had
you're right. No, maybe businesses did.
I haven't looked at a phone book in like 20 years.
Yeah. Been an awfully long time. So let's assume that I think businesses might have, but yeah, it's been a very long time. Let's assume that no. So you kind of, but he kind of puts the, pulls down the handle to start the meter, and he calls in on the CB radio, and basically says, yeah, I got a fare here looking for some place called Pierson Chemical. Pierson. With a P. One moment. You respond. There's a pause, and he kind of shakes his head. And the guy comes back. 142, and he gives him the sort of address, this very thick. It's very. I can't do it. I can't do it justice. Well, no, I just can't do it justice. No, but yeah. So he's got this very kind of thick accent. Yeah, right. Got it. Okay, off we go. Buckle up, fellas. You sure you don't want to stop and take a fucking shower first, huh? He starts to pull away. You boys going to work? I'm holding.
Something like that.
Chemical showers, man. Oh.
You drive. So rush hour traffic, as you might imagine, is a lot of stop and go. You make your way out of Chicago, but it takes you about 40 minutes to do so. You're sitting in this truck or in this cab, getting a little bit of motion sickness, Randall, going on as you sit there. Nonetheless, you make your way out of Chicago, leave the city skyline behind, and head out into this kind of industrial, this almost dystopian industrial area. Think 80s RoboCop, right? Where all the buildings are exaggerated and, the purpose of them is not entirely clear. At length, you pull up on the edge of this property where there is a guard gate, a gray guard gate, kind of just a single man hut kind of thing. There's a desk there, and you can see the silhouette of a guy sitting at that desk as you pull up. Do you have him drop you off there?
No, can we go around the side?
No. Yeah. Pull around the side here. We'll get out around the corner here, please.
Okay. He pulls off, kind of around the side of the fence, basically stops and lets you out. Wish I could say it had been a pleasure, fellas. He basically asks for $7. It's a $7 cab ride.
I give him a 20 so we can clean the fucking cab.
You give him the whole 20?
Well, I need change back.
So he gives you full change. You gonna leave a tip or what? He says.
Oh, absolutely. An extra 5 if he doesn't tell anyone about it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Extra 10.
$17 it is.
There you go.
He gives you back your $3, and off he goes. You're now standing at the around the side. The airport's not far from here. You can hear the kind of air traffic going, and you can see in the distance the kind of lights of the runway. This building, so for one, the campus is large. Its entire thing is ringed with a very tall chain link fence, barbed wire at the top. The guard gate is the only way in that you can tell, at least here. There could be gates elsewhere. That leads to a drive which kind of goes up to an administration building, and then in the back of the property is this tangle of pipes and apparatus that probably is the chemical part of the chemical. And interestingly, Frank, there's a fleet of vans parked in what looks like a motor pool, very back of the property.
These are the same vans that dropped A-bomb off, right?
At this distance, you probably it's far, right? So they look about this big in the distance. You can tell white.
I got it.
White industrial vans. And then, of course, on the fence, there's a sort of largish sign proclaiming it to be Pierson Chemicals. So you know at least that you've arrived at the right place.
And it's getting dark by about this time, right? It was.
Yep. It's let me see. You left here around 5 o'clock. It's probably about 6:30. Probably just before dark. But yeah, kind of that grim gray Chicago sort of dusk.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't look more out of place here. There's not a lot of homeless folks wandering around.
Yeah. My stomach is beyond painful. I feel like I haven't eaten in days, and as much as I don't want to take Randall's literal fucking blood money, I could use a little food, and we could probably use a little darkness. So I suggest, Randall, why don't we go find somewhere to lay low and maybe see if we can find something warm to put in our bellies for now.
All right.
So you wander around a bit. You kind of walk. You remember passing a Waffle House of all things. Maybe it's Huddle House up this way. Absolutely perfect. And there was a little shit hotel as well that you might be able to bucks and maybe lay low for a minute. And so we'll assume that you do just that. Now, the one thing that you have, and I won't tell you why, but you have a slip of paper that Constantine provided you with a phone number on it. And his instructions were to call when you got where you were going. Stop at a payphone and call him, because he's running an errand of his own. He will rejoin us. So we're going to stop here because it's like 12 minutes before 11, and I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. Yeah. This is the last one was money, isn't it? Yeah, the last one was Randall's Fix, and this one would be like Randall's Fit.
Frank is disappointed.
Yeah, Frank's disappointment. Oh. What do you think? You guys have fun though?
Yeah, this is good. And we ended up with a little bit of warm food and a warm bed and a goddamn shower. So
and $40.
Yeah. Just think how much shit that could buy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, thank you for those of you who happen to pop in and watch the Twitch for a minute. Thank you so much for doing so, and thanks for checking this out on YouTube. If you've gotten this far, we have been Myth Brigade. This is Beneath These Streets, episode 9. Tune in next month, March, when we figure out what happens when Bianchi returns and what the hell is going on at Pierson Chemicals. But for now, I'm going to grow an extra long index finger